Hi, my name is Colbert and let's start this last Team Winter Sale video with Weird West. You will discover a dark fantasy reimagining of the Wild West where lawmen and gunslingers share the frontier with creepy creatures. You will journey through a story of a group of atypical heroes written into a legend by the decisions you make. Each journey is unique and tailored to the actions taken, a series of high-stakes adventures where everything counts and the world reacts to the choices you make. Each playthrough is unique as the game tailors the story to the player's actions and past choices for an ideal dramatic arc, because you will be faced with brutal choices and consequences that can't be undone. Like, you know, when you put too much salt into your potato salad, you can't take it back. Or like your virginity, when you have too much of it, it's really hard to change that.
So, as you know, Steam doesn't pay me, but you can show me one-time support by clicking thanks button down below. Thank you.
Heroes Hour. Exploring the world and developing your town and army are both turn-based, giving you time to think and plan out your next moves. But in battles, your units will do the best to fight for themselves in real time, all hundreds of them, and you can cast spells and give attack orders to swing the tide of battle, or just sit back and watch as your might unfolds. That is a really cool concept, something fresh in the world of games similar to Heroes of Might and Magic, although I'm not saying that this concept is definitely very good. You know, some things are good as they are, you don't need to mess with them. For example, potato salad. If you add milk or, you know, concrete to it, it may look cool, but please, don't do that. Sunless Sea. This is a gothic horror RPG set in a Victorian Gothic universe of fallen London with a focus of exploration, exquisite storytelling, and death. If the giant crabs, sentient icebergs, and swarms of bats don't get you, madness and cannibalism certainly will. Sunless Sea is more like choosing your own adventure novel than a game. You'll have to read a lot here. Don't expect fancy combat or fast plot lines full of exciting events. No, game is slow and a bit repetitive, but the brilliant storyline, writing quality, and world-building aspects are all handled very well. If you like slow-paced, story-rich games, then get in the boat and try to fish the biggest marinated herring you can find. Yes, they come from the sea already marinated, if you're lucky enough. Disciples' Liberation. This is a mature, dark fantasy strategy RPG with turn-based combat similar to one we're used in Heroes of Might and Magic. Well, if Disciples and Heroes were humans, Heroes would be this kid with blonde hair and loose shirt with palm trees all over it, and Disciples would be his goth brother sacrificing goats to Satan. So which one of these guys would you want to be friends with? Of course with Goth, way cooler kid, although struggling in life, just like Disciples' Liberation struggles with mostly positive review score it has. But keep in mind that bad reviews are mostly given by players who live in the past, with nostalgia for Disciples 2, a game that was released 20 years ago. I can only imagine how hard it would be for a person like that to live everyday life.
Oh man, this new movie is not as good as that old one. Yeah, 20 years ago computer games had a soul and today it's just pure commerce. MTV was a real channel back then. Young people forgot how to keep real conversation. Back in my days.
Oh, shut up! If you recognize yourself, then geez man, life is hell for you. So in those brand new, amazing Disciples Liberation, you will get an 80+ hour single player campaign and can experience a dark fantasy story with more than 270 quests and objectives and 5 unique endings to unlock. That is as modern as it can get. And if you are still struggling with a decision, you can download and play the demo version on Steam absolutely free. Medieval Dynasty. If you were ever wondering how life was some 600 years ago, I can save your time and just say that it sucked back then. So, next game is... I'm kidding, let's go back to Medieval Dynasty. Here you take on a role of a young man who has fled from war and wants to take his fate in his own hands. From being alone, inexperienced and poor, just like you are now, he will develop into a master of many skills, a leader of community and the founder of a prosperous dynasty which is meant to last and prosper for generations to come. So you can literally create a tiny medieval North Korea for yourself if you want. Here you will defend against wild animals while hunting for food, gather resources, craft equipment, build yourself a house and erect not a peepee, but a whole village. Tough winters and unexpected events challenge your skills and dexterity as you strive to build your own legacy. One of the coolest things for me here is the entire year cycle with 4 seasons and realistic wildlife that really helps with the immersion. Medieval Kingdom Wars. Why is this game not famous at all, and why nobody has ever recommended it to me? I get zillions of comments about other games I have allegedly missed in my videos, but nobody has ever said,
Hey, where is Medieval Kingdom Wars, dude? Your video sucks!
you start the game as a minor noble in service to your king. With over a dozen nations and over 50 lords to choose from, each playthrough is truly unique and tells its own story. There are many ways to approach the game. You can play a classic RTS skirmish with solo co-op and multiplayer options, and a story-driven campaign that offers 9 crafted scenarios. Everything takes place in a real time with roguelike game progression. Everything you do is constantly saved even during the battle. There are no second chances, no turns or multiple reloads. Beyond Two Souls. This is a unique psychological action thriller starring Hollywood stars Elliot Page and Willem Dafoe. He will take on the role of Judy, a woman born with a connection of mysterious entity with incredible powers. And I'm not talking about your uncle and, his incredible power to drink a few liters of alcohol and still drive home. No, here your actions will determine Judy's fate as she faces extraordinary challenges and danger on a journey to discover the truth of who she really is. If you like games similar to Life is Strange or Detroit Become Human, this is another great game for you, but with a little bit more action. And if you are in doubt, you can download a free demo version on Steam and see what this game is really all about. The First Tree. When I saw this title and this ridiculous price tag, I was like, yeah, I have to put this price tag on my video thumbnail. This is a beautiful third-person exploration game centered around 2 parallel stories. A fox trying to find her missing family and a son reconnecting with his estranged father in Alaska. You will uncover artifacts from the son's life as he becomes intertwined with the fox's journey. Although be warned that this game is just like your memory. Very short. What, you don't believe me? You think it's a joke? So, what's the title of this game? I thought so. Anyway, it will take only about 2 hours out of your boring life, but if you want something original with a great story to play, this is your game. The Last Campfire. A single-player puzzle-adventure game with overwhelmingly positive reviews. 97% of all people who bought this game are recommending it to you. That is not what you encounter every day. People on Steam are talking that this is a beautiful story-driven game filled with great art and even greater music. The puzzles game throws at you ranges from fairly easy to a medium. Nothing will bend your brains inside out in this game. I don't know if that's good, because I like hard puzzles in games. I mean good puzzles that can be solved by pure logic and not by your math skills, or by some other BS you are supposed to know, but you don't, because 15 years ago, when teacher was talking about the stuff, you were aggressively drawing boobies on the desk with your ballpoint pen. So nothing like that in this game. If you fail here, it's pure problem of your IQ, I'm sorry. Cossacks Free. This is a remake of a classic game that originally launched in 2000s. Here you'll find 20 nations, 120 different unit types and over 220 different buildings. That sounds like an overkill, and believe me, it is. But it is also really fun to play. This game is like ultimate epic battle simulator before it was cool. Also, besides the battles on land, you can build an armada of battleships and attack your enemies at sea. The game offers 5 single-player campaigns. Leaning on the history of 17th and 18th century, the game lets you fight massive battles with up to 32,000 soldiers simultaneously on the battlefield. Be sure that you have that NASA supercomputer for that. Icewind Enhanced Edition. Made with the same Infinite engine as a classic Baldur's Gate game, Icewind Dale is a more battle-oriented game. Here you'll find less side quests and less story, but you will enjoy an amazing atmosphere because this game is really detailed. Also, the party is entirely player-made, with no other NPCs offering to join in any given moment. Although this is an enhanced edition, don't expect anything fancy or modern. Yeah, graphics are improved, quick loot is implemented, all the expansions are here, and even quests you have never seen before. But those are not new quests, they were just cut off from the original release back in the 2000s. So this game is like Madonna. Face is new, but the body is old and it plays like an old game as well. Be aware of that. Maneater. Have you ever wanted to become a shark? To be honest, it doesn't really matter what you want. I'm sorry, that was a rhetorical question.
I wanna be a pelican, mommy!
Shut up, little Timmy, eat your moss in silence!
Anyway, Maneater will let you experience the ultimate power fantasy as the apex predator of the seas. Become a shark and eat someone! Maneater is a single-player, open-world action RPG. I can only guess that you weren't expecting that. You will start as a small shark pup tasked with surviving the harsh world while eating your way up the ecosystem. To do this, you will explore a large and varied open world encountering diverse enemies and prey, both human humans and wildlife. Find the right resources and you can grow and evolve far beyond what nature intended. This is fortunate because you can get revenge on all those filthy fishermen. Outer Wilds. It was named Game of the Year 2019 by Giant Bomb, Polygon, Eurogamer and The Guardian, so that alone should grab your attention. If it grabs something else or somewhere else, call the police. Here you are, the newest recruit of Outer Wilds Ventures, a space program searching for answers in a strange, constantly evolving solar system. You will have to find out what lurks in the heart of Amino's dark bramble, who built the alien city on the moon, can the endless time loop be stopped, and why potato salad is so delicious. Answers await you in the most dangerous reaches of space. Game has overwhelmingly positive reviews, so you can't be wrong with this one. Solasta, Crown of the Magister. In Solasta you will take control of 4 heroes, each with unique skills that complement one another. Every hero express themselves in the adventure, making each action and dialogue choice a dynamic part of the story. You will create your heroes just as you would in a pen and paper game by choosing their race, class, personality and rolling for their stats. Except that you can't have full freedom here anyway. If you, let's say, want to play as talking hairy balls from space, it's not an option, and that's a shame. This class should be available in every RPG game, altogether with Potato Salad Man, Beer Bender, and Stan from Cold Beeristan. Yeah, so in general, if you like games like Baldur's Gate, this should be a no-brainer for you. Solasta has very positive reviews, although I just noticed one weird thing. Solasta isn't compatible with Steam Deck. It may not be a big deal now, but in the future it can really hurt the sales a bit. Anyway, it's a great game, you have my sincere recommendations. The Pathless. This is a perfect game for fans of Journey and Abzu. Here you will become the Hunter, a master archer who travels to a mystical island to dispel a curse of darkness that grips the world. Soar through the air and forge a connection with your eagle companion, perform fluid acrobatics and execute awesome trick shots with a unique archery system that allows effortless shooting while moving at high speeds. The evil won't rest until the world is destroyed, so what are you waiting for? And I know that you're concerned about the most important thing. Can you pet the bird? And yes, you can, so it's automatically a good game. Also, it has very positive reviews on Steam. Aliens, Fireteam Elite. Have you ever wanted to be a protagonist in an Alien movie? If yes, then you need to play Alien Isolation, because this one is nothing like the movies. Although it's really fun to play if you have a friend or two. You can play in single player as well, but I assure you that if you want full experience, you will have to find some friends. I know, that can be mission impossible, but you can try anyway. So here you will be exploring some friendly planet filled with friendly fauna and live in harmony all together. Except you don't. This game is a carnage where you will have to battle through hordes of different types of xenomorph, customize your character and gear and level up as you try to contain an ever-growing threat. I especially like the diversity of enemies in this game. They really took their time to create some nasty monsters. This game itself is basically Left 4 Dead, just with aliens. I think it's great, and 82% of Steam reviews are also positive. What remains of Edith Finch? 17-year-old Edith Finch is the last surviving member of the eccentric Finch family. All of her immediate relative and family have died violently at a young age, leading to rumors about a family curse. Now Edith is on her way to her Finch mansion, a bizarre ramshackle building hidden deep within the forest of the state of Washington. Once there, she intends to research her family's history and learn the truth behind the alleged curse. While this can sound like a horror game, it's actually just a nice tale about one family that is more interesting than, you know, your own family or mine. That's why we are gamers, to be honest. So if you like this video, there is another. Click on it and you will enjoy even more short reviews of the games I have made specifically for this Steam Winter Sale event. Also, subscribe, you know that you like it here. Thank you for watching, have a nice day, and I'll see you next time.
Bye.